Yes, chatting up the chick. Live from Cluckenham Palace. This is Tour Aotearoa. Update number 2. Yes. So, in the last few weeks, Glenn and myself have managed to finally get our 2 little babies. Yes, we have 2 new bikes from Giant. They're a Giant Fathom. And both exactly the same. Except his is blue, mine is a terracotta, and I'm not gonna lie, the terracotta is the daddy. It's the daddy of the bikes. I think it goes a bit quicker, but that might be because I've got bigger calf muscles. But I'm just not 100% sure. Um, this week on my chatting up the chick, I wanted to not only give a brief update on how the cycling training's going and what's going on behind the scenes type thing, but also I wanted to do a quick overview, a quick highlight of one of the charities that I am trying to raise money for, and that's Big Brothers Big Sisters. But before I get there, here is a quick advertisement. What? No, 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 no one wanted to advertise. Fair enough. I can live with that. So, so last couple of weeks, Glenn, like I said, got new bikes, and we went out for a wee little 70-kilometer ride around the local district. And the great thing about this new bike is before we was riding on road bikes. Now, obviously, road bikes have limitations. They're designed for the road and flat ground, basically. So the only thing we was able to do is really hit the cycle routes, um, go up the roads for doing hill climbs and stuff like that, which is good. But obviously, when you're face to face with cars and you're on a bike, there's always that challenge. You know what I'm saying? And for some reason, cyclists and drivers just don't mix very well, which is weird because yeah, I'm a big cyclist, and I see if everyone started cycling just 50, I don't know, 50% of the time, we would save on a whole lot of carbon going in the air and have nice breathing um, environment as well. We haven't got all those toxins going in, but that's another discussion. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, so we went out in the new bikes, and the good thing about new bikes is that we're able to go off road, and we was doing some little trails alongside the rivers and stuff like that. It was really nice. It was like it was just a totally different, a new concept for me because I haven't ridden a mountain bike for years. I've always been on a road bike for the last however many years. So it was, yeah, really nice to be back on a mountain bike and be able to have that extra freedom of just going like, oh look, let's go on this gravel track, see where this goes, rather than being like, hey, yeah, my tires ain't gonna deal with that very well. Right, but yeah, let me change gears slightly, and let's start talking about this charity that I'm uh, raising funds for. And before I do, I just want to say a massive thank you to all the people that have donated. If you're listening to this podcast and you've donated money to the Riders Through the Storm, thank you very much. You are the reason why I have so much faith in humanity. That money is going to 2 wonderful charities, Big Brothers Big Sisters and Aotearoa Animal Rescue, which are 2 great charities that do a lot for the community. But yes, Big Brothers Big Sisters. Let me give you. I was hoping to get someone on from Big Brothers Big Sisters, and I might still do further down the line, but I haven't had time to actually organise anything. But yeah, let me give you a quick rundown about Big Brothers Big Sisters, just in case you haven't actually heard about them. Let me start historically. They started in 1904. There was a young New York City clerk named Ernest Coulter who observed more and more boys coming through his courtroom. He was a judge at the time, and he recognised that caring adults could help many of these kids stay out of trouble. And so he set out to find volunteer mentors. So this charitable organisation basically exists in many parts of New Zealand actually, and around the world, in many different districts, and they basically ask for people to volunteer at least 1 hour a week, um, to spend time with a vulnerable young person. I've been doing it now. Poof, blimey. Um, Damn, it'll be 6 years in February. So 6 years ago in February, I was paired up with a young chap. I won't give too many names and things around. Let's call this chap Dave. I, I was I was paired up with Dave, and Dave came from a broken home, um, uh, where alcohol, drugs, crime, these, I don't want to say these normal things, but these things that broke up the family. And so I spent, he was just about 7 years old at the time. He was like one of the younger ones. And so for the first few months, I would just go over to his house for an hour a week, spend some time with him, just to formulate that kind of relationship. And then as time went on, we started doing more engaging things, like we went camping, we went away to Hamner, we got him out cycling at night time because he was always scared of the dark. So I was like, oh, let's get on our bikes, we'll stick some lights on, and we'll cycle around the local area and bikes and stuff like that. And yeah, and this has progressed for the past 6 years. He's now a teenager. We're not part of the Big Brothers Big Sisters anymore, because once you get to a certain age, well, just it doesn't cater for the older teenagers. But we still, like, I've just hung out with him this past weekend. We still have that opportunity to connect now and again, and it's great. Like, he's doing really well. Um, he's got a good looking future in front of him. It hasn't been easy. I'm not gonna lie. There were times within this dynamic where things were just like, wow, pff, like, I could spend an hour talking about the issues that surrounded, our relationship. But like all relationships, there's always gonna be those tough times. Doesn't matter whether you're married or your best mate or whoever, there's always going to be tough times. And it's how you work through those tough times. And normally it's just persistence. Like I found, it was just persistence on my behalf, of just making sure I spent that 2 hours with him once a week, where we could do things that were enjoyable for each other. And yeah, and happy to say that it's really worked out well, and I'm fully behind this whole idea of Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Even if you are listening to this and you want to volunteer your time, man, go to their website, and just, even if you just speak to someone about, this is something you might be interested in. Like, I know how I know how it can take you out of your comfort zone when you have this premise of being matched up with a child who does come from a vulnerable background and is going to have baggage. It can be quite scary, like, oh, well, what am I supposed to do? Just be yourself. Like, it's that simple. It really is that simple. Um, and yeah, I really hope there's people listening to this, and they do take that challenge, and they do call up the Big Brothers Big Sisters, and they do start to volunteer. You know what, I only want to do a 10 minute 10 minute podcast, and I've already come to the end. That sucks. Maybe we'll have to do a part two where Chris actually doesn't go over time and doesn't start talking a whole load of rubbish. But yes, training's going well. um, Still looking forward to doing this big trip across New Zealand on our bikes. Man, loving all the people that have donated. You're awesome. Big brothers, big sisters, they're my charity. They are going to be bigged up by me for a long, long time. Get yourself on their website. Go to my Fund Me page, Riders Through the Storm, or I'm sure you can search my name, Chris Chick. You'll find it there. If you can't find it there, look on my Facebook page. It's on my face. It's always on my Facebook page. That's where I always put it. Yes, yes. chatting up the chick, signing off. Sayonara.